Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, bringing you a grand solar minimum update on Monday, July 30th, 11:12 p.m. Mountain Time 2018. You're looking at a Lay's plume boom and a lava channel that's gone low. Heads up. Caldera collapse events continue to occur at the summit, but Isaac Holly boat ramp is still 500 feet away from destruction. Now, the Fissure 8 vent is erupting at epic proportions, as you can see here just from earlier today. But the lava channel itself is down about 3 meters. Of course, they're not going to show us that. So I'm going to give you a few angles here at 26. Here at 21. You can clearly see how low here especially the lava is down, and it's starting to get a crust on top here. This is the second time in 7 days. So what we might be seeing here is this activity quieting down. The Lay's plume, however, at the flow front is epic and as big as ever, creating hydrochloric acid and glass particles in that Lay's. Welcome to the grand solar minimum. Increased volcanic activity, and we're going to get to some of the obfuscation from the truth as we go on in the video. Let's get on with the update. This is not Armageddon. This is the car fire on the 27th, and in fact the entire state of California is on fire. And if you want to know more about it, get the latest updates on California fires from these Google Maps. There's the picture we just showed you. Redding, California, July 27th. A view of homes that were not destroyed by directed energy weapons, but by wildfires. California fires are ablaze again this summer, destroying homes and businesses, causing deaths of at least 6 people, displacing thousands, with the worst blazes raging across Northern California and Redding, with more smaller fires burning across Southern California. The 2018 California wildfires are difficult to keep track of. Thankfully, Google Maps has released its 2018 California fire map, and here it is. Use control to scroll and boom, and it'll just bring you in on what you need to do here. When you come to a fire, it'll show you the extent. Take a look, and then you can get the info. Just click on it. Here we're at the Ferguson fire near El Portal, Mariposa County, now 57,041 acres and 30% contained. Whew. That's just one of the fires. You spend all night here scaring the shit out of yourself. Yeah, the car fire is now the deadliest blaze in 2018, covering nearly 100,000 acres near the Northern California city of Redding, destroying more than 700 homes, claiming the lives of 6, including 1 firefighter. 38,000 have been evacuated. Whew. Hail, tornadoes slam parts of Colorado. It looks like Armageddon, but it's not. Severe storms that brought damaging hail Sunday swept through several Colorado areas, including Greeley, Evans, Kit Carson, Fort Collins, LaSalle, and Flagler. Yeah, that's boom. That's a hail boom. How big was the hail? That's boom. Golf ball size hail in Greeley. Nailed. They nailed it up there. Did you have your helmets on? Storm hits metro area with hail and rain. One of our subscribers, Mr. Mooney, sent us in pictures from Albuquerque telling us that his rigid greenhouse was destroyed, the siding and the roofing, as well as all of his crops. Many people are saying that all of the outdoor plants and gardens have been destroyed. Look at the flooding. Albuquerque National Weather Service issued severe weather storm warnings at 9 p.m. and a fast-moving storm dumped hail and rain across the area, flooding some and destroying others' crops and greenhouses. High winds may also be responsible for bringing down power lines near 4th Street in Montano. Whew, heads up. That's where Ben is. Hail map for Sunday. Let's check the numbers. Holy 67 square miles impacted with 1.7 inch or larger hail. 7 square miles impacted by 2.5 inch or larger hail. That's a death threat. That's a lot of homes. 3,474 homes impacted by gigantic hail, 27,000 impacted by big hail, and like I predicted yesterday, the number is going to jump big, almost quadruple, 74,000 homes impacted by 1-inch hail or larger, 231 square miles of the U.S. And that's a hail map. Boom. Thank you. Weather Ready Nation, heat and fire threats in the west, heavy rainfall potential from the south to the southeast Ohio Valley and mid-Atlantic this week. Dangerous heat wave will continue in the west coast while the rest of the country is below normal and they're not reporting on it. That's just a heads up. Yes, and a boom. Sub-boom. Proper prior planning prevents piss-poor performance where we're headed. Where is that? Is that our Teespring store? You can clearly see here. Yeah, it's the 7-piece shirt, only $17.99, and that's boom. Teach wisdom of the now. Will this ever download? Holy Moses. Yes, and there you go. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. And if we can wait for it, there will actually be a blow up to the right. But it's not happening. It's just not happening for us today. Down below the links, you can click on this and go get it. Dangerous heat wave with hot temperatures and dry humidity will plague California and the Pacific Northwest early this week. Numerous wildfires will continue to burn. I show you where the Google Maps are to check it out throughout much of the region, and these hot, dry conditions will only exacerbate the ongoing threat. Elsewhere, heavy to excessive rainfall will be possible much of the week for parts of the south, southeast, as well as large hail. Put your helmets on in a big yellow state in West Virginia, probably a child abduction. And that is an Amber Alert. Yes. Hail, floods, and high winds threaten Italian crops. Holy Stromboli. Some areas are seeing up to 70% of their vineyards damaged. Winos everywhere are going insane, not because of the crop damage, because of the wet brain. And Coldiretti, a farmers union, estimates damage to agriculture at more than 500 million euros. That means you're not going to have any food in a little bit. While most Americans are aware the deadly wildfires are scorching California, hail, floods, and thunderstorms and powerful winds are wreaking havoc on Italian crops, including the wine grapes. In some cases, yields have been affected as much as 70%. Hail is the damage that farmers fear the most this season because it makes irreparable damages, destroying the work of the whole year, says Roberto Provadino, chairman in Coldiretti, the Farmers Union of Italy. Meanwhile, he noted, the heavy rains did nothing to help drought conditions. It simply ran off. But the downpours instead caused landslides, destroying even more crops. Absolute insanity. He said Diamond over the Oppenheimer Ranch project predicted this all, that bastard. Icebreakers in Hudson Bay in July. Late July, unprecedented ice in portions of Hudson Bay never seen before. Hi, Robert. This is Robert Felix over at Ice Age Now, not by fire, but by ice. I'm in Pruvnik, Nunavik, and the merchant ships had to call the icebreaker to open the water just to get to Hudson Bay. I could see the icebreaker in the distance. It's still sitting there waiting for the boats to finish unloading. Yeah. There's not supposed to be ice in this portion of Hudson Bay, and there is. Check out Adapt 2030's update today, and you can get all the details. 110 kilometer per hour winds and -5 C temperatures hit Australia's southeast. Whew. But one major city will escape the worst of it. Of course, we've got to add the global warming. Australia's southeast is set to face more cold fronts with the chilly week ahead. The cold fronts are expected to continue after a weekend of rain and 110 kilometer-per-hour winds. High pressure system due to spread across the east on Thursday is going to bring a reckoning and a cold morning to the eastern states, with Canberra reaching a freezing -5 C. The poor weather is set to continue in Victoria and Tasmania as well. From frosty nights to mild days, these swings are unprecedented. No, they're not. They're predicted as we descend into the grand solar minimum. Historic records show us that there are extreme highs, extreme lows, extreme droughts, and extreme crop loss. Yes. And if you want to know the facts why drought is bringing both temperature extremes to rural and rural South Wales, just subscribe to the channel. Extreme weather could push UK food prices up this year, says farmers. So says I. Crops are wilting in parched fields, lowering the yield of kitchen staples, including meat, wheat, potatoes, onions, and milk. And there's no fodder for the cattle. It's up and away with food prices. Staple fruits from bread, potatoes, onions, milk, and meat may be in short supply this year as predicted, and prices to consumers will rise. That's an unfortunate boom that we've been talking about the entire time. Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, you sons of bitches, but by the seeds that you plant. Robert Louis Stevenson. And that's a boom. It is. Extreme weather could push... Oh, we did that one. Why there's a ring of natural disasters around the Pacific. This is coming from no one important. Now, according to this article, the belt of volcanic activity around the Ring of Fire is normal. Yeah, scientists say that 10 to 20 volcanoes are erupting at any given time. Apparently, they didn't check the charts. 36 volcanoes are currently erupting on the globe. So apparently, scientists that say that 10 to 20 volcanoes on average are erupting miss the point that we're at 36, almost double or triple average. So this is anything but normal. Read the article if you want to be fluffed in the corner. Seismic update. We're waiting for a large caldera collapse, 5.3 magnitude, to happen in the next 12 hours. The only other quake in note is a blot echo in Fiji happening at 508 kilometers just 9 hours ago. So we're going to see a larger quake in this region in the next 3 to 5 hours. Nothing else really chiming in here, kids. Oh, one thing I want to show you real quick. Let's go back before we get to it. You'll enjoy this. Volcano may be erupting off the coast of the USA. Yes, it is. Just off the west coast of the United States, something may be bubbling under the surface of the ocean. There is reason to believe that the axial seamount, just 300 miles off the coast of Oregon, is currently erupting. The seismic activity that we've seen off the coast in recent days, however, is not associated with it. And I will just bring you in to point you out where it is. We have the Mendocino fracture zone here and the Cascadia rupture. And here is another portion and a mid-ocean ridge portion here. And you can see this small string of topographic features here moving out into the Pacific. And this strange crescent-shaped object here, this, in fact, I believe is the edge of a large caldera which once exploded, but this is the axial mount right here. And this is the area in question. This actually could have a small cinder cone type appearance. Clearly, this is a volcano and another volcano and a string of volcanoes. So any of these volcanoes, this one in particular looks of note, but this is the actual axial seamount here. Let's get to the article. Volcano may be erupting. It's true. Back in 2005, they believe this. And in the fall of 2014, geologists Bill Chadwick at Oregon State and Scott Nooner at North Carolina predicted the axial seamount would erupt. This is based on some very sensitive equipment they had in that region. And they had a direct fiber optic cable to the university. So they were really picking it up. Really high res. So this could have been erupting for years now, up to 3.5 years. It's not clear whether the earthquakes and deflation of the axial area are related to full-blown eruption, but they're sending a ship out, apparently. So, just one of the thousands of underwater volcanoes that we don't know about that are currently erupting. That one we kind of know about. Worldwide volcano news update. Semeru volcano, Sabancaya, intermittent puffs. Semeru has discrete volcanic ash, as well as Karaminski Popocatépetl, Ibu, Tucono, Agung, and on and on. Cop a few. I cop a few. Let's talk about it. Emissions of steam and possible volcanic ash. There's another one to add to the list of not 10 to 20, but 30 to 40 erupting volcanoes worldwide. Tucono volcanic ash advisory, continuous eruption. Reventador volcanic ash with steam. Sabancaya, some strong puffs, which I'm about to take as well. Kaliminch volcanic ash, not identifiable in satellite imagery. Sakojorima exploded! Boom! Whew, we know how that works. Let's come back for some great footage over here of burning houses in Armageddon over in Kilauea. Look at how low the channel is. You can even see it from this altitude in the helicopter flyby. This is this afternoon at 4 p.m. Again, look at the level dropping down. We're going to be watching this closely. The Lay's plume here and the lava front is as big as ever. So, clearly we don't see any ships off the coast there anymore exploding, breaking people's femurs, and wreaking havoc. SpaceWeatherNews.com, check it out. The fire angle has shifted just moments ago. Let's check the other... Oh! Something happening. It's not working for us. This son of a bitch. Take a look at the electron flux hitting the floor just moments ago while we made the video. So we could be going into geomagnetic activity here. We could have some instability, maybe reaching KP4. So we're going to watch this probably go up quickly here. Now, the phi angle has shifted. Temperature's going up, but the speed is dropping. And there's nothing happening with density, so I have no idea what this is. It could be a coronal hole stream we're expecting. We can see the phi angle shift 6 to 12 hours before there's any activity down here. So we'll watch it closely. Let's check the aurora. None. This would be increasing as the night progresses. But nothing of note. We just caught the beginning of something happening right now, so we'll keep an eye on it. Solar minimum sun, still no sunspots in, yes, days and days, 32 days. A recent study detailing how and where environmental philanthropic grants are allocated shows a lack of intellectual diversity on the climate issue. He does it now. That's crazy. Montane pine forests reached the northeast coast of the Iberian Peninsula 50,000 years ago. Why do you care? Well, a new study confirms the continuous presence of montane coniferous forests from the Pyrenees to the Mediterranean from 50,000 to 15,000 years ago, demonstrating that the resilience of extreme and ever-changing climate conditions of the period that humanity did not die. In fact, Neanderthal and Homo sapien both made it through these extremes in this cave. Pretty significant cave with pretty significant protection. Extremely significant. So, hopefully you live near a cave. Because I think they may be essential in getting through some of the more difficult parts in the near future. Holocene temperature variations cooling since 8,000 years ago. Someone's being lying to you, and it's not me. One of our listeners set up a Dropbox, and this Dropbox is not just any Dropbox. It's a Dropbox filled with every piece of information scientifically that this guy thinks is important. And it's called the Grand Solar Minimum Welcome Info. I'm going to leave you links to it. It may take 7 or 8 years to load, but look at all these graphs and charts. You're going to want to check them out. And we'll just leave it up and see if it loads. No, actually, it's probably burning us up here. Market Watch, Prophet of Doom predicts stock market will plunge 50% plus in the near future. Hussman sees NASDAQ sinking 57%, Dow tumbling 69%, and Bitcoin swelling to $70,000 by next year. And that's a bear, not a bull. And that's a boom. It's inevitable. Get your fiat out of money. The time is now to start preparing. Proper prior preparation prevents piss poor performance in the future. You're going to. $17.99, and you can warn the public that they're not doing those fucking pricks. Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap. but by the seeds that you plant. And may they all be cannabis. And that's a boom. Yes, I have no idea what this is, but we're not going to look at it. It was an amazing graph that I wanted to share with you. Now, what you're looking at is 5.3 million years of Delta O18 proxy measurement from ocean sediments. Yeah, the LRO4s. God bless me. One more. Here we are right here, over at the left. Thousands of years times 1,000, that's 1,000,000. So what you're looking at these spikes is the 100,000 year eccentricity cycle of Milankovitch. Yeah, it's called the fifth order cycle. Now this cycle is so significant it shows up in the geologic record time immemorial as far as I could go back. I went all the way back 500 million years and I still found this signal. So the Earth's been wobbling pretty similarly for a very long time. The only problem is that every time we hit a peak on one of these wobbles, it drops off the cliff, the Delta O18. Now, why do you care about O18? Why would anyone care? Because this equivalent drop-off is 10 degrees C. And we've just reached another peak, and we're heading into a drop-off. The 10 degrees C drop-off. Here's the same graph of the same information, only it goes right to left. And we're here at this spike, peaking right here. Here's the last one. Boom! Straight down. So do you see these high spikes? They go straight down. Spiking straight down. We've just spiked. What do you think happens? We're not here to scare you. We're here to prepare you. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds that you continue to plant. Abundance is the key to survive and thrive in the future. Nothing else. I hope you got something out of the video. Times are changing. Find community. Learn a skill. Above everything, plant a seed. Be safe, everyone. And that's a boom.